Just basic shoeing job today. Nothing fancy. We'll get to the fancy stuff later. This is busting the clinches. A lot of people are going to know what that is. Some people may not. Breaking the clinches so we can pull the shoes off without breaking the foot up too much. And then he's got a big foot, so you got to be careful because the nails are basically railroad spikes. And you got to be real careful about pulling too hard. So what I do is do it like that, get a couple of these pulled out with that. That pulls the nails without breaking the hoof. I don't seen videos. I never really seen, not saying it's not out there, but I haven't seen nobody use the nail puller before. But see how much easier that shoe comes off now? You start trying to pull on 8 nails and it'll literally break the hoof off if you do it too hard. Now your basic.
How's that hoof look? Good?
The hoof looks healthy. In Florida here, we have either drastic dry or drastic wet. Drastic dry, their hooves turn into concrete. Drastic wet, they get hoof rot, thrush, all kind of stuff that can go wrong. Clean all the dead sole out. Trim out the frog.
Need the white part. What do you got there?
This is the sole here. This is the frog right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That goes in different stages. Sometimes the frog will shed out and you can't cut as much as I just did. That takes a long time to start learning when and how far to go on those frogs. But after about a long time, you start learning the texture of the frog and how much and how it's growing, whether it's shed out. If it's shed out, you can't cut nothing. I've had people, why don't you cut the frog? I'm like, because there's nothing for me to cut. I said, if there's something for me to cut, I'll cut it. If there's nothing for me to cut, that means there's nothing to cut. I'm going to get blood if I go anywhere. The frogs are normally supposed to be a hair, like if the hook down, this is the heel. The frog needs to be just a hair above the frog. This horse in particular, some horses, their frogs are so thick that they're level with the hip. That's not bad with this. That's just the way the hoof is. But normally you want the heel just a hair below the frog, not level with the frog. See, his frogs are even protruding down lower than his heels.
Right.
But I can tell, if I tried to cut this frog down, you would see a bunch of blood come out on the floor.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
is there a vein
it's just a pump. It's just capillaries or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's just the way his hoof is.
Right.
He's always been like that.
So now
He has improved since we put shoes on him. There's no doubt about that.
So now you're lowering that.
Yep. Now I'm cutting up all the dead hoof wall.
What's up, Rooster?
Go out a little bit. You don't cut as much of the heel down.
Shoot this guy real quick.
Huh? Yeah.
What's up,
Chickens.
dude?
What are you doing over here?
You looking for some
I'm
leftovers?
looking for something to eat.
I don't think you're gonna want that.
He's just a talk. She's just a talking to.
Yeah.
I'm leveling it, looking down eye level, and seeing which is high spots on the hoof, so I can knock it down with this rack. See, you got all kind of stuff like this line that goes. We've been working on that for a long time. It used to be a split right there, and that's gotten better. So, but I don't know if that line's ever going to completely go
Yeah,
away.
because I think there's something up here.
Yeah.
Like he banged it when he was little, and it grows out like a groove, like we do if we split
See,
our finger.
I don't know if your camera can see a little flare right there.
Yeah, real concave.
Yep. So you try to keep that knocked down up high. I go real high to try to make it grow down the way it's supposed to be.
Yep, it works.
Well, that doesn't smell good.
No, see, this is where
Oh, yeah.
it kind of growed out and piece got broke off. And
Sure
that
did.
got lucky. See, this one didn't happen.
Yeah, yeah.
As you can see, you move them
Yeah,
feathers
that's-
right there. You see them nails, how
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
cracking?
yeah, yeah.
That's from the dry hoof being dry.
Yeah. Okay.
So we got to try to, luckily we'll have enough hoof to cut around that.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it went too far.
No, but you don't want that nail going right back into that split.
Right.
See, believe me, these are, if they hadn't wet his feet down, they would not be cutting out like that.
He did a lot of foot games.
Yes, he did. He always does. He always grows a lot of hoof.
Count the hoof,
That's
right?
the coronary band.
Okay, so that how close to that do you get where you're trimming?
Barely, right? Don't.
Barely.
I mean, only reason I'm going up this high is because I'm trying to, doing that way, it keeps the flares not growing down
Sure.
instead of out like
Sure.
this.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I go that high back there. See, sometimes what happens is the hoof changes a little bit. And this will help give me an idea. See how it's still wide here?
Yeah.
All right, so what I want to do is, this is going to get cut off. What I want to do is run this like this. Okay, so what I want to do is widen this just a hair on both sides.
Shoot.
Yeah, because you want this to be over here a little bit.
How about the front there?
That's going to get cut off. That's called cutting the toe back.
Okay.
That's going to cut off and round it up to.
So we're gonna start forge.
Now we just got to let them heat up a little bit.
Are they both in there?
Huh?
Are they both in there?
Yeah, both shoes are in there, yeah. You need to look.
Just real quick. Let's open her up. Okay.
Right. See, it's already starting to get red.
You need to clean it?
Huh?
You need to clean it?
If you don't get the dirt off of the nail holes, the nails won't set good.
Okay.
So you gotta get mainly the nail holes cleaned out.
Okay. Thank you. I'm
Well,
not asking any
I'm gonna
questions.
adjust on the shoes a little bit, and then what it is, when you sear the foot, it makes the shoe set more firmly, more secure on the hoof. You can get away with cold shoeing, but with the stuff that they're doing with the really heavy terrain and really hard ground that they're running over, you need to do everything you can to try. I cold shoe mostly everything, but I hot shoe these guys because you want it literally makes a mold into the hoof. It's the outlet.
So that's spreading it by knocking it across that flat
Yeah,
line.
it makes the heel go wider. Makes it go wider out this way. Okay. Now I want to look at it and see how it's going to set on the foot. All right, this. Let me see. Oh. Yeah. Here.
Nice here. Smells good.
Yeah. Okay. Like we said before, this side grows out wide a little bit. I adjusted a little bit, and I'm trying to bring that in to where it don't grow over the shoe as bad as You don't want them growing over the shoe, but they do it anyway. Now that's where I want it at. That's right where I want it. Normally, your basic refueling time is every 6 weeks. Depends on how they're grown or how they're used. It can be every 5 weeks. The reason some people say, well, let's do them every 4 weeks. That's not giving the hoof enough time to grow out. All you're doing is you might get one reset. For the next 2 or 3 resets, you're going right back into the same nail holes, and you got 20 holes right inside of that hoof. You've got to find a different nail hole every time and give the old one a chance to grow out.
Yeah, too soon is bad.
So 5 weeks is about as far early as you want to go when you're shoeing a horse. All right, drive the nail through. That pulls the shoe down to where it's supposed to be, and hit it a couple times. This is a lot of excess nails going to cut somebody. So you cut it off. Same thing. One more. Now you got eight nails in here. 4 on each side. Now, what you call clinch bar. This pulls the shoe down tight. Extra tight. I mean, you got to have it as tight as you can get. Let me see. Yeah, grab the bottom of that nail. That sinks the nail into the shoe. Yep.
Working it over with the block.
Yep. And then I do what I told you I'm going to do. I cut that piece of toe off. And then I'm going to round it up to where he breaks over good. Break, cut them nails down to where it's pretty flush.
What do you call what you're doing now? Cut what?
Cutting the nail, the clinches. And then I'm going to clinch it over. Yep. I'm doing a clinch in just a second. You'll see what it does. This gets all the trash out from underneath the nails. Here's the clinch. You got to get that. Where's my other one? You grab the head of the nail and clinch it over. Grabs the bottom of that nail and clenches it over so that that nail will not come out.
Locked on.
Yep. And then you smooth it up.
When you finish this, you're going to be done with that foot?
This foot will be done. I got to do the same thing to the other one.
Right.
But it's already seared though. Hardest part's over. See, I'm rocking the toe now. Breaking it down like this so that...
Rocking it.
Yep. It comes down to where he breaks over good. That's just smoothing any carbs that are on those nails. There you go. There's the done hook.
Nice.
That's what it looks like when it's done.
That's what I was talking about the state fair competition.
Can you see it?
The nails are perfectly in line.
Yeah, you see, I'm way away from the old nails, and it's back a little bit. That's what you want. That way, you give these old nails time to grow out.
That'll grow back in.
By the time I trim back in these will be completely gone, and these will be down here.
6 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Beautiful. And that's normal right there. That's natural.
No, it's not normal. No.
That's where that groove
That's where that break is. I'm going to put some putty in there that's going to harden up.
He busted it?
Where they get that
Yeah, he
hole
broke
out.
it.
Because they're
Yep.
bound to get it
Because
right
that-
there
yeah.
where that groove.
That's
See, and if
the
I
leg.
tried to put a nail in here,
Oh yeah.
it's just going to break worse.
Sure.
Yep.
So you'll fill that in with
I'm
some
going to fill it
putty.
in right now.
Put a little Bondo in there.
Yep. And there's my Wonder Bondo.
So it's like JB Weld. You just
It's basically like JB Weld.
you mash it together.
I think there's some kind of tech. I tried JB Weld before.
Modern Bondo.
The
Yeah.
the texture is different. This is more. I think it bonds to the hoof a little
And it
bit
lasts
better.
longer. It stays better.
The JB Weld has got a different. Looks the same, but it's got a different kind of texture to it. Squeeze it in there. Get it. Come out there on that shoe. This is not something you want to put on the whole side of the hoof, but it does breathe a little bit. There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah, and that's just for a little patch. A
It
little
don't
patch.
harden up as hard as the hoof.
It works great.
See these bad splits right here?
Yes, we saw the splits.
I've been burning them and back and forth, just searing them with a rod,
Yeah.
all the way down. But I don't know if we just got over dry or something, but this time I'm going to take my little torch and burn it a little bit and take this medicated wax and seal it in there with that medicated wax. That way it'll help keep the moisture in a little bit, but it's still going to be able to breathe all the way around. So what I'll do is, if I can't get a nail right here, I'm
Yeah.
just going to use these two back ones.
Yeah, that's
Because
pretty
I don't
close.
want no
Close to the
nail
split.
around here at all.
Yeah, it's too close to the split.
Right. Okay. Barely missed it.
Cool.
Yep, that'll work. Called Caratex Hoof Putty. I call it a medicated wax because it's a waxy buildup. It's got medication in it, keeps it moist, helps keep any infection from getting in there. Little torch you buy at Lowe's.
Yeah, yeah. Any torch will do.
Right. These little bitty ones are quiet. I like them more than anything. You heat the hoof up like this. All you're trying to do is burn that wax
Yeah.
into them splits.
Did you put some in there already?
Yes, I did, but I'm going to do some more.
Okay, you're rubbing
See?
it in there. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now look at that.
Yeah.
Now that's sealed with, that'll dry up and seal in there and penetrate inside them cracks, and it'll stay there for a while. I think on certain occasions it works. We're trying it this time because I've been searing it with a rod, but it obviously got over dry this time. Thanks, man.
It was good.
You were really, really good. You're a good boy.
It's like I really don't like you, but okay.